My husband is impotent, but we have 3 healthy children together. I secretly conducted a DNA test on all my 3 children, and none of them matched with my husband's DNA. Yet all 3 of the children's DNA match with mine, and that has left me with so many questions on my mind. My husband and I have been married for 18 years, and I must say he has been an amazing father to our 3 children and a wonderful husband to me. Apart from the little husband and wife issue that we have sometimes, I can confidently say that our marriage is pretty much a very happy one, and I really adore my husband very much for being a very good man to me. When I met my husband, I was a nurse, but after we got married and we had our first child, my husband encouraged me to start thinking of doing my own business since I wasn't having enough time for our child, especially when I was on night duty. He promised to support me with whatever business that I decided to do, so I decided to do a top-up class to learn more about baking bread and other pastries since I have already learned the basics from my mother, who was a caterer. After my baking lessons were successfully completed, I decided to start my own business. And God being so good, the business picked up really faster than I thought. I was supplying bread to my entire community and even beyond. I later on added my pastry joint to it, and my business became so big, and it was a household name in my community and even beyond. And I'm truly grateful to my husband for his immense help and support. I later on had my second and third children, and we became one big family, and life was going on pretty well for all of us. My husband was indeed a man. When I say he was a man, I mean he was really a man in the bedroom. Our sex life was very good. He did what he was supposed to do as a husband, and I didn't have any problems as a wife so far as our sex life was concerned. But last year, my husband had a severe fever and he treated it at home for weeks, but it didn't go. I advised him several times to go to the hospital for proper examination and treatment, but he refused. For some reason, my husband just hated the hospital. He preferred to treat all his ailments at home with herbal medicine rather than going to the hospital. For instance, a few months after we got married, my husband slipped and fell in the washroom, but instead of going to the hospital, he preferred to be treated at home, so we had a herbal doctor come to our home to treat him until he got better. The only reason he gave me was that he hated the hospital because the hospital reminded him of his late mother and how his mother died at the hospital. So he felt that if he should go to the hospital, he will not come back alive just like his mother did. So because of that, he tried to avoid the hospital as much as he could. But when I realized that my husband's fever wasn't getting any better and his health was fast deteriorating, with the help of 2 of my workers, I forced him into a car and we sent him to the hospital. When we got to the hospital, series of tests were conducted on my husband, but the results of the tests shocked me to the core and brought a lot of things to light. The doctor explained the findings of the many tests that he conducted on my husband to me. I wasn't really disturbed by the findings of the many tests that were conducted on him. But I got so shocked later on when the doctor said the surgery my husband had many years ago and his current prostate issues might affect his ejaculation and our sex life might not be as active and strong as it used to be. So as his wife, I need to be patient with him and I don't have to put unnecessary pressure on him, especially in the bedroom, so that he could heal faster physically and mentally. Wow, my husband had surgery years ago and he never discussed or told me about it. I asked myself. But I knew if I should come clean with the doctor and get angry, the doctor will not be able to tell me more about this surgery or the information that I was looking forward to. So I pretended I knew all about the surgery that my husband had so that I could get more answers from the doctor. So I said to the doctor, "Doctor, don't worry. I won't give him any pressure. After all, I was there for him all these years after he had that horrible surgery. And that I even helped him heal. So why would I put unnecessary pressure on him, especially now that he needed me so much again?" Then I saw a broad smile on the doctor's face and he said, "Wow, I'm happy to hear that you have been supportive to your husband even when you knew he couldn't have children of his own after that surgery. You must be a very good wife, and I'm so happy that you are so supportive of your husband." Then in my head, I said, "What? What did I just hear? What did the doctor mean by my husband cannot have children of his own when we have 3 children together?" Then with a pretentious smile on my face, I said, "Oh, doctor, don't worry about that. We talked about it several times and we realized that marriage without children is possible. So we decided to stay together as husband and wife and support each other through thick and thin." When the doctor heard me say those kind words about my husband, he commended and praised me with all manner of words about how good of a wife and a woman that I am, and how proud he is of me for supporting my husband with even such difficult moments and during such difficult time in his life. So when we got home, I asked myself so many questions. If my husband had surgery before we got married and he couldn't have children of his own, how did I get pregnant in order to have those children in the first place? Because I knew that I never slept with any other man apart from my husband. While I was thinking about all of this, then a thought occurred to me. I remember how my husband would continually ask me when I was ovulating so that we could have intense intimacies together so that I can get pregnant. So whenever it is that time of the month and I was ovulating, I'll gladly tell him because he wanted us to have our children quickly so that we can grow up together with them. But there was something that I realized that my husband did most of the time that I was ovulating. He would send me with an alcoholic wine, and most of the time I get so drunk that I didn't usually remember anything that happened afterwards. A few times I told him that I didn't like the idea because the alcohol could affect the child, especially if I should get pregnant. But he told me not to worry because we're not doing it often. Besides, he liked how naughty I got anytime that I got so drunk, and that edged him on in the bedroom. So because of that, I stopped complaining. But after our 3rd child, I realized that my husband no longer gets me drunk before intimacy, whether I was ovulating or not. When I asked him why he stopped giving me the alcohol whenever I was ovulating, he said he was okay with the 3 children that we had and there was no need for me to go through that again. Besides, he also explained that because I didn't like the idea that I was always taking alcohol, so he decided to stop it. So I agreed. But secretly, I was hoping that at least I could get pregnant again and have 1 baby girl since we already have 3 boys. But as much as I tried, I never for once missed my period. So I decided to forget about it. So now that the doctor had mentioned that my husband's inability to have children was because of the surgery that he had before we even got married, I was thinking, was he contracting other men to sleep with me while I was drunk? And that was why he was getting me drunk anytime that I was ovulating? Because physically, I have not gone through any medical process to have IVF or any medical procedure that could get me pregnant apart from getting intimacy with my husband. So, to get some answers to my questions, I first conducted a DNA test with my children, and all of my children matched with my DNA. But slowly and gradually, I managed to conduct another DNA test with my children and my husband, and surprisingly, my husband's DNA did not meet or match with any of my 3 children. I was completely shocked. If the children are mine, and I know that I have never slept with any other man apart from my husband, who is the father of my children? Is my husband part of this game just to cover up for his inability to have children? If the answer is yes, who is this man, or who are those men who got me pregnant? And what was the agreement that my husband had with him or them? Won't this person or persons come back one day to claim these children to be his or theirs? And what kind of explanation do I give to my children one day if a stranger appears to claim they belong to him or they belong to them? What do I do? I went through his documents to find out if I could find some answers to my questions, but I didn't find any evidence concerning this issue. I have so many questions on my mind right now, but I don't seem to find any answer to any of my questions. My husband has not fully recovered yet from his ailments, but I have been thinking, should I ask him about what I have discovered, or should I just stay quiet and just enjoy my marriage since he hasn't told me anything concerning this issue? Or should I begin to dig deeper for some answers on my own somewhere else, like from his laptop or by listening keenly to his conversations with other people in order to find some answers to my questions? I am truly confused now, and I'm living in fear of the unknown. And seriously, I need some answers to my questions. What should I do? I am so confused. Wow, this is indeed a serious one right there. If this woman is really telling the truth about not getting involved with any other man apart from her husband, then who is really the father of her children? Could her husband truly be responsible for this, or who the real father of her children is? If yes, then this is really disturbing. And why is he, or why did he decide to put his wife through such a horrible situation without her consent or without her knowledge? Well, guys, what measures would you advise this woman to put in place in order to get some answers to this messy situation she found herself in? Do you think she should ask her husband about it, or she should just keep quiet and look for some answers herself? Well. Hello, my darlings. Are we quarreling? Are we fighting each other? If we are not quarreling or we are not fighting each other, then please kindly subscribe to the channel and kindly leave your thoughts in the comment section, and please do well to watch my other videos as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. It's bye.